Blog Talk Radio.
Alternative facts.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. At 12:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, numerous unidentified objects of unknown intent and unknown origin were detected at high altitudes over multiple locations of Earth's outer space by the National Radio Astronomy Observatory, and these objects are presumed to be some form of controlled aircraft. It is not known if more of these aircraft will arrive, or if they will attempt entering Earth's atmosphere. United States citizens are encouraged to monitor local media outlets, as more updates will follow as information becomes available. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. Attacks by the undead have been reported in several states across the country. The dead are rising from their graves and are attacking the human race. At this time, it is expected that more attacks of this nature will occur in several other states in the next few hours. The intent behind their attack is unknown at this time. He has been observed that a or exchange of fluids is a method of transmission. This is an extremely dangerous situation if they crave the taste of human flesh. It is not known whether this event will last for hours, days, or even longer. Stay calm, as authorities have been dispatched to deal with these creatures. An all-clear siren will be sounded when this situation is under control. Pacific Standard Time, nor is detected a long-range nuclear missile launcher. This missile is believed to be headed in the direction of all residents within a 400-mile radius of this area should seek a fallout shelter immediately.
Welcome to Within the Chaos with your host, Rodney Shortridge, and co-host, Robin Dalton.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. You can listen in by going to blogtalkradio.com/withinthechaos, or listen in by phone. You can dial 323-870-4197, and you can also call in to ask questions to our guests at the same number, 323-870-4197. From deep within the heart of the Appalachians, I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you all for listening to Within the Chaos. My name is Rodney Shortridge, and I'll be your host tonight, along with my fiery redhead co-host, Robin Dalton.
Well, better not.
Well, I just started recording, thank you. God, why do I always have to cut so much shit out of you? I'm serious. Let me see, how do I do this? I done forgot how I do this. Let me see, where you talk about you do anything? What do I say?
Yeah, let's welcome our guest.
Oh, okay, yeah. Why did I put that on here? So I'm like, I kind of script myself so I don't forget. Damn it, I forget. I forgot to even write that down. Well, I'd like to give a big thank you and a big welcome. You see how this shit's going. For Lance from Moonshiners, hit TV show on Discovery. Thank you for joining us today, seeing how we're down here in your hometown of Robinsonville, North Carolina. This is the first time we've ever done a pre-recorded show like this, so if it's fucked up, people, I'm so sorry. If you don't like it, you can kiss my ass, but people are awesome. They've been good as hell to us. So, Lance, tell us a little bit about yourself, bud.
Well, you know, I got started making moonshine when I wasn't even legal to buy alcohol. I was actually basically an alcoholic, a full-blown alcoholic, before I was legal to buy alcohol. But, you know, when I really got serious about making moonshine was after I got sober, you know, quit drinking alcohol. That's when I really got serious about making good quality alcohol. And now, people says that I make the best that's around.
Is that what you're trying to do? Be the best? I mean, what you make, and as far as all the different techniques and stuff that you're trying and experiment with, I mean, how's that helping with, I guess, locals? I mean, how do they take it, or even people outside the state or county?
Yeah, people really responding well to the fact that, you know, I'm pushing the envelope so far because, well, I've made stuff that no one has ever thought to make. You know, I've made sake, that something that's really never really been made in America. I've made a moonshiner's, you know, mountain tradition style of sake. I've made, you know, what I call outlaw scotch, which is every step that they would do in Scotland. The only difference is instead of doing it in the mountains of Scotland, we do it in the Appalachian Mountains, you know, right here in Graham County, you know, Robbinsville, our hometown. And, you know, we pride ourselves on always finding something else to do, something to keep people interested, because the new generation, they need something that's going to excite them. You know, even me, I'm bad to, if something ain't, you know, interesting, I'm bored with it. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So it's real easy to get bored with stuff, and I think that getting new stuff out there and getting people thinking about, hey, I can do whatever I want. You know, anybody in the world can do anything they want to, and I think that every day.
Well, it's like creating something new, just like a carpenter or a wood craftsman. You know, they build cabinets all the time, but then they get bored of it, and then they're like, hey, I want to try to make wooden ducks. You know, something different, you know, just to try. They're like, hey, well, it's a wooden duck. Surely everybody's going to laugh at me, but I'm going to make the best damn wooden duck around here. I mean, I know it might not sound like a good, but...
That's what I need to know. That's what everybody needs to know.
Okay. Well, you know, I get off. Don't worry about it. I'm my damn mouth. Like I said, I want this like a conversation. By God, I'm going that way with it too. Right off the damn bat. Okay. What is moonshine exactly?
Well, moonshine is just the distilled alcohol spirits made off of corn. You know, you use corn as your fermentation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times it's made just pure off corn, sugar. You know, some people add yeast, but a lot of times what we do is we use, you know, homegrown corn where we grow ourselves. Alcohol spirit made in the most organic way that's possible. You know, it's all natural, and there's nothing else in the world that can be compared to moonshine, because moonshine is pure. And, you know, it's something that, if done right, I can make moonshine that will give you very little of a headache.
So would you call that healthy alcohol then? I mean, it's all organic.
Yeah, well, I would say so.
What's that?
Now, so would that be considered a healthy alcohol then? It's all organic.
No, it ain't healthy.
I'm trying to help the industry out here.
That's not an industry. That's no.
You know what I mean.
Business.
Yeah, business.
Yeah, I can make a moonshine spirit that is so pure that you will get very little of a hangover after pulling a major drunk on it.
Yeah, that's most important.
Yeah.
I hate them damn hangovers.
I don't think about that. It's dangerous.
Huh?
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Making it without a hangover because they won't stop drinking.
Oh, really?
What keeps you from pulling a big drunk after you pull one?
Hangovers.
A hangover. If you don't have a hangover, what are you going to do the next day?
Keep drinking. Yeah, that's a dang good point.
Yeah. That'd be easy to do. I can see that.
Well, they say I was an alcoholic. I don't agree with that, but
I just know there's a lot of people with mixed opinions about that.
Well, I mean, that's where I was getting ready to go. They're like, well,
There's a difference between an alcoholic and a drunk.
What are you trying to say?
An alcoholic is an everyday thing. A drunk is just somebody that every few days needs to pull him a big long one.
Okay, then. I'll cut that, too.
We may kill your show.
Shit, I don't care. I mean, this will blow it up. You wouldn't believe some of the people when we do a show. They'll send me messages going, I can't believe you fucking said that. I'm like, and then they'll be like, I can't believe your guest said that. And I'm like, hey, I try to keep it real, people. Let's see, how did you get, and you already answered that? How you got?
Kind of, sort of, in a roundabout way.
Okay, well, how did you get into the moonshine trade?
I got moonshining by family tradition, I'm a 9th generation moonshiner on Dad's side and a 7th generation moonshiner on my mom's side, so I can literally say I was born and bred to do this.
No shit.
Mom, her family's made liquor, and that's just as far back as we can actually trace it. I'm sure that back in the old country, they were probably moonshiners. They weren't called moonshiners back then, but they were probably still making the same spirit and the same alcohol that we are today.
So, are we talking about your ancestry Scottish or Irish or both?
Both.
Oh.
Because we rock.
Because you people know how to drink, boy. Y'all know how to make it and drink it. I'm Scottish too, so and plus I got Native American, so hey, I got a both wahoo.
Alright, so I know you said that you were young when you started drinking, but do you remember your first swig?
Absolutely, I remember my first swig.
What was it like?
I didn't like it. It burnt. It tastes horrible. I was a kid that liked, Mountain Dews and sugary drinks and, all that. And first drink moonshine or any kind of alcohol, really. And I hated beer. I couldn't stand beer, but
I still don't like beer.
Pretty soon I realized that it could do really amazing things when used in the right amount and the right quantities.
So who made it? Was it something your family members had made, your dad or uncles or?
Yeah, well, Dad, our family made it for further back than I can remember. It was a way of keeping the family afloat. Dad, he was a logger. I had 2 brothers and sisters that had health problems, and they unfortunately needed a lot of care, so we had to figure out a way to make money that wasn't a traditional way of making money. So most kids, their chores when they get home from school is to clean up the house, do laundry, wash dishes. Mine was to go outside and sit in a little building and run moonshine. Literally before I even wanted to drink moonshine, I was sitting there with a still running moonshine. So
wow.
Oh,
I want that.
I feel like I had a cheated childhood.
So when you mention heritage of moonshining, what does that mean to you and your family? Is it just where it was so many generations and just making money, or is it something deeper for you?
Well, moonshine is always going to have a deeper meaning for me because it's something that has been passed down in my family. It's been a huge amount of pride in my family, and plus it's something that, moonshining is a freedom that I don't think America should ever be able to lose. I think every American should be able to make and distill alcohol. Once you try it for the first time, making moonshine, you'll be addicted for life. A lot of people say alcohol's addictive. Making alcohol is what's addictive. You'll fall in love with it, and it's amazing the fact that you can connect with people, complete and total strangers, just by having a jar of moonshine or bringing up the word moonshine. Everybody in America's ancestors know or have had dealings with a moonshiner or have been a moonshiner themselves.
There you go. Okay. Is it hard to do something like making shine, knowing that it's illegal? Is it hard for you all?
Yeah, there's times that making moonshine, knowing it's illegal, that it gets tense, but at the same time, that adrenaline, that thrill keeps you alive and keeps you awake. So, you've all the time got that weight hanging over your head as the day to day that the law is going to bust me. So, you're all the time on edge, but at the same time, you're living more in those moments than, most persons doing, all their life. So that's something that I'll always miss if I ever have to give moonshining up.
So if you were to get busted, just out of curiosity, what all charges would actually affect you all if you were ever caught making the shine?
Well, most of the time they're not going to actually catch you. Well, if they're going to be able to catch you, what they're going to do is they're going to come in and they're going to wait for you to get a finished product. And once you're transporting is a felony in North Carolina, but distilling alcohol is a misdemeanor in North Carolina. So as long as you're don't have finished product, beer and a functioning still all in the same location, they can't arrest you. If you've got finished product, proof down already in the court, moonshine in your vehicle, it can be considered transporting. Most of the time, though, they'll charge you with an open container, but they can charge you with a felony transporting untaxed liquor. So, it's a roll of the dice. Most of the time, though, with the quantities that we're shipping and moving, if they bust us, if they catch us, there's no getting out of it. It's going to be jail time. But luckily, we've been extremely lucky. But we're extremely good at what we do. We watch each other's back. We make sure that there's nothing on the scanners, nothing going on the roads that we're going to be driving, and make sure the vehicles are in absolute top-notch shape so that the worst-case scenario doesn't happen. So far, we've been really good about it.
So what do you mean when you talk about the proof of moonshine? What does that mean?
Well, your proof of alcohol is the amount of alcohol to water that you've got. At 200 proof alcohol will literally cook your intestines. Anything, most of the time, running moonshine normal is going to be 100, 110 proof is drinkable moonshine. That's where it's hot and it burns, but it don't set you on fire. Now, I have made some, doing everything just as perfect as I could, that got it to where it was drinkable at 140 proof. And it was, one swig and, you couldn't drive home. But at the same time, you had that amount of alcohol was still there. So, whereas normally you'd drink 2 or 3 sips, you was drinking 1 sip with that. But it's something that is a lot to do with just the amount of alcohol that you have compared to the amount of water that you have.
Mm-hmm.
You have to proof alcohol, or you have to proof moonshine down to make it drinkable. And you make it to where your customers like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, what does it mean when you say hot? Because I know I've heard that a lot of people when they'll take a swig, especially old timers I used to hang around with. They'll be like, "Ooh, damn, that's hot." What does that mean exactly?
Well, your alcohol is going to burn. Any alcohol does. It'll set your mouth on fire. It's like your mouthwash of a morning. That's just the alcohol doing its thing. But that burn, really tells you quality and, how hard it's been run. You can run liquor really, really fast, trying to get it, pushed through the steel and make it fighting liquor. And then you can run it really slow, making, a good quality liquor, and that's what we call loving liquor. You've got liquor that'll either make you mad and want to fight somebody, or you make liquor that makes you happy-go-lucky,
Want to tap that ass.
Yeah, everybody's happy. But
I'll say it for you. I'll just put my 2 cents into that for you. Well, I've noticed also, the reason why a lot of this I know, because my family, they were in it. Granted, they didn't really teach me nothing. They just taught me how to drink it. But my uncle, especially my Uncle Ernie, he when he'd buy it, he'd always shake it. He'd shake it and he'd say, "Now look at them bubbles, boy, and bubbles tell everything you need to know." But he never tell me what the hell that meant. Well, what does that mean when you shake it up and you get the bubbles?
Well, your bubbles is going to tell you your proof. A lot of times what you're looking for with drinkable liquor is those bubbles is going to make a bridge. When you turn that jar sideways and you shake it, in the middle part of that jar, the bubbles is going to come together and they're going to make a bridge up from one side of the jar to the other. And that'll tell you that liquor's anywhere from 100 proof to 110, 100, sometimes up to 120. Mm-hmm. You speed of your bubbles, how fast they disappear, that can mean high liquor. It's a lot of practice to learn how to read liquor from the bubbles. Mm-hmm. Most of the time people just use hydrometers now. That's just a fancy way of testing the bubbles, basically. I've had a lot of success with reading bubbles, and I've messed up a lot of liquor with reading bubbles, thinking that I was better than I was, But it's something that takes a lot of practice and a lot of patience to get down right.
Well, when you was talking earlier about you growing up and making your shine and learning how. When you make it, do you ever get a rush? I mean, is that part of making it too, just the rush of knowing you're doing something that the state or states say, you really can't do that, but you're doing it anyway, and you're able to bootleg it and move it and right underneath their damn nose. And it's that outlaw thing, like the big middle finger to the state or in the government.
Oh yeah, that's the big driving force for me. I think the government has way too much say so over what we do. I think it should be basically free for everything. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Mm-hmm. But that's my opinion. But making moonshine, it definitely gives you that thrill, that feeling of being alive that you can't get anyhow else. But yeah, that making moonshine, that definitely gives you that thrill, that feeling of being alive that is hard to get anywhere else.
Well, have you ever been in a situation where, you know, that you're like, you're about to piss on yourself because, they just pulled us over, or you get ready to go through maybe a road check or something, and you might have a little bit too much in your vehicle?
Oh yeah, there's been many a times, you know, I can't exactly get into any detail because, you know, they could still be an officer out there that's listening, but yeah, there's been a lot of times that I've thought, well, this is the end for old Lance, but luckily, you know, I guess my guardian angel's been watching out for me or whatever, you know. I've made it through this far, and I'd like to say it's all just, you know, skill, but it ain't. It's pure luck. Yeah. You know, I ain't getting nothing else but luck.
I'd be afraid I'd pull up, have them truck pull down, shine, hauling, and all the cops I know, they know something's up. I'd end up pissing all over myself. Rodney, get out of the damn truck. How has it changed your life since you started doing this? I mean, has it made your life more exciting, more, you get up in the morning and you're like, fuck yeah, man, I'm glad to be alive, and I'm glad that I'm going to make me about 50 gallons and make me some money? Or does it like, oh man, does it get monotonous? Do you get bored with it, or are you just excited about every time you get up to do it?
Yeah, there's times that it gets boring and, you know, tedious, the same thing every day. Mm-hmm. But that's, you know, going back to what we were talking about earlier, the making new stuff. Mm-hmm. Keeps you interested. You've always going to learn something making moonshine. You will never, the day that you say you know everything there is about making moonshine, you might as well quit, because you're done. You'll never make another good drink. Wow. But, you know, I'm always willing to learn. If there's an old timer that tells me he can teach me something, I guarantee you I'll stand there and listen to him all day long. Right. You know, I'll let him show me every tip and trick that he can, and he's willing to, because that's the heritage that's dying out. The old timer moonshiners, they know stuff that I guarantee you, if you sit in right now and run, you know, moonshine still after moonshine still full, you'd never learn the tips and the tricks that's been passed down hundreds of years through these families. And the people that know this stuff, they're dying right now. You know, they're elderly. They ain't got nobody to pass it down to. So those things that we need to know is gone. That's just like the herbs in the mountains. There's stuff out there in the mountains that I guarantee you cure just about anything that ails you. Yeah. You know, a friend of ours used to carry a little patch of herbs around. You know, just a little cloth sack. Would cure a headache in a second. All you had to do was smell of it. You know, it's the best smell in the world, but you would have the worst migraine in the world. Take one whiff of that, your headache is gone.
Heck, I need some of that.
Man died. Nobody knows how to make it. Oh. They know how to, you know, use the last one he ever had in his possession. But, you know, what are you supposed to do? Send it off to some lab somewhere and let them break it down, every ingredient in it? Yeah. You know, they may have been some kind of saying or something, some kind of magic over it, you know, magic in the world. So it could be something that nobody's ever going to learn. And just because somebody had the time to ask him, how's that work? It's gone forever.
That's sad. That's heartbreaking.
Well, I mean, it is heartbreaking, and especially is the younger generation, you know, because your generation, my kid's generation, I know you're very interested in doing this, but is everyone else kind of, their family just don't want to do it, they don't want to learn, or just don't give a shit?
I think it's just there's too much other stuff out there that's too exciting. Mm-hmm. You know, myself, I get caught up playing video games, you know, and many a times I've thought that beating this video game was more important than going and checking on my beer, you know, because running the beer and running the moonshine was a job, whereas playing that video game was fun. But, you know, I think we need less distraction and more hard work.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially on, I mean, that's just everything. So, you're from, this town is so small. I cannot express how small this town is. I thought I came from a small town. No, I live in a big city compared to this. So everybody knows you, your family, and all that. So has that increased your chances and risks of getting busted, do you feel?
No.
You don't feel like it has?
No, because there's too many people out there that depend on getting their drink from me that is too high up and that has too much power in this county for them to ever stop me permanently. Right. Now, they may make it hard on me. They may make it difficult for me to work and do the things that I do for a living, but at the same time, all I'd have to do is make a few phone calls and, more than likely, it would all go away. But, I won't call that favor in till I absolutely
got to.
That has to be a big problem.
So what do you think is the biggest quality or biggest thing it takes to be a good moonshiner?
Patience. Your ingredients is a big part of being a good moonshiner, but you have to be willing to put the patience in. You have to be willing to wait. I've waited 6 months before on barrels of beer to work off. When the weather changes, it stops working. Now, it can turn to vinegar. It will do that sometimes, but you can keep it warm enough to stay alive. As long as you keep that yeast alive, it will continue making alcohol. As long as the yeast is alive, it will never turn to vinegar. So you just keep that yeast alive, keep it warm enough through the winter, and your beer isn't really good beer until it's been run multiple times. Your third run, after dumping that hot beer back in, that's your good run. That's when your sour mash, your sour corn is the best. So keeping that beer alive, keeping it working through the winter, because around here, it could be 70 degrees one day, 20 the next.
All right.
So
we kind of noticed that already. Damn. When you talk about the temperature affecting the beer, does it also affect the process of making your ferment for your shine?
Yeah, the temperature. Mother Nature controls our business. She's good to us, but at times she's bad to us. There's been many times that we just prayed for good warm weather, and we've got cold weather. Then there's been times that you kind of wish for a cool breeze or cold weather to come, and you just get hot weather. But you have to be willing to roll the punches to be a moonshiner. The weather, it controls what you do.
And does humidity, like if you have a rainy season, because I take it with the heat, when we have kind of a really bad dry season, but when we have a wet, rainy, high humidity, does that affect it too?
Yeah, your humidity, it can affect it. You've got to keep that beer going through right, and there's times that if the alcohol, when it comes from a vapor back into a solid liquid, when it goes from a vapor into a liquid, if it does it improperly, you'll get a funky taste to your liquor. It just don't taste right. And there's times that if it's too dry, your water dries up. It's hard to be a moonshiner in the mountains when you ain't got no water. You're a creek without a paddle, basically.
Would you consider you moonshiners like, let me see, what was the term I was thinking?
Jack of all trades.
Hillbilly chemists.
I know if you
I'm serious, because a lot of people think that, a bunch of old people in Appalachian Mountain, a bunch of old dumbasses. But I've learned with my family, and I'm sure, like you were talking about your family and her family and everybody sitting in here, They're all jack of all trades, and if somebody don't know something, they know somebody that knows how to do something. And that's the reason why I always like, they're hillbilly chemists.
Yep.
I mean, really. Like you was talking about the herbs and shit. Yeah, you're actually a hillbilly. Now, stick a pie chart in front of them or something like that, they'll figure that shit out. No, I'm serious.
Or we'll figure out a way around it.
Or find somebody else and be like, hey, you understand it? They'll be like, yep, let me show you something. Take this, this, this. And you'll be like, yeah, there we go.
And I still need to find a way around it because I wouldn't understand it. So what are some of the code names that y'all use for shine?
Oh, there's more than you could ever mention. White, shine, clear, mountain water, I'm blanking, basically anything that you want to put in a text will kind of mention water or, anything that makes you think of quenching your thirst. If it's a customer texting me or calling me, I pretty much figure it out. I've had some odd ones through the years, some Mount Yaller, or can you do advertisements or like name brand or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We can do anything on our show.
Yeah, I've been texted asking for Mountain Dew and Mallor Yaller and just off the wall stuff, just whatever popped in their head, mountain water and some of that stomp water, pond water, anything that makes you think of something that water related.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much it's a code for moonshine.
Damn. Yeah, I want some Mountain Dew. I'd be like, Mountain Dew, man, go buy it. I'm sure you got a damn store around there somewhere. I want that Mountain Dew that burns. Well, why the hell didn't you say it in the first place? Okay, and I understand, and a lot of people, and I know you know this too, but how Run and Shine, how it got NASCAR started. Does your family have any ties to the beginning of NASCAR? Those guys that started it up when they were Run and Shine.
I actually don't know if we've got any family ties to the beginning of NASCAR. It's something interesting to look up. I do know there's a similarity between how our family used to spell our name and how a well-known race car driver spells his. It's a whole family legend. That the husband died in war. The wife didn't know how to spell the name, so she guessed basically how to spell the name on a legal document, and she misspelled it. She added an R, and that was forever. Our name changed, so now we're Waldroup, and we're Waldroup instead of Waldroup. So yeah, it's a neat little story. I've never really checked if it was true or not, because it's one of them I want to be true. It's just too neat of a story to ever try to debunk or figure out if it's wrong, or somebody out there knows it's wrong. Don't tell me. I want it to just
You don't let me know.
Well, I feel stupid because I've been calling him Waldroup. Not Waldroup, but Waldroup. Yeah,
we're used to you mispronouncing his name.
Oh man, I do. There's some people we get on. I'm like, oh shit, how do I say their name?
How long did it take us to get through to you that Marissa's last name was hard to say?
Huh? No, her name's
Brickasack. You kept calling Brisket. She got called everything. It was Brickasack. So, here's a little touchy subject, maybe. Has anyone in your family or friends or your associates, have they been busted and gone to jail for any extensive amount of time? Just for moonshining?
No.
Well, then they are damn good what they do.
Damn right. Be careful.
We got a lot of good customers.
So what are the different flavors that you all make? Like, do y'all have like specialties that y'all do?
Yeah, we have several different kinds that we make. You know, we used to make the apple pie, which everybody makes. You know, we've made the peach and different stuff like that, and mess around with a lot of bourbons. But basically, a bourbon's just you take some kind of wine that's got too much sugar in it, run it through your still, you got a bourbon. But any kind of fermented grapes, peaches. I always want to make some off pears. It's different flavor. That we got good liquor. I ain't just ever got around to it. We got a pear tree there at the house, but it's one of those things that you push to the back burner. But we've made scotch and sake, and then the absinthe, which turned out to be terrible, horrible, and nasty, all combined all at once. And I got it to work, but it's not my kind of drink. It's got too weird of a taste.
I would like to taste pear though, because I like pear way better than the rest of it.
I'll send you the jar when I get it made.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that.
I don't believe she will, because she'll be like, you want to see him? You want to see something? You better send me my damn...
You're definitely going to have to cut 90% of this out.
It'll take me damn near you to get this down to... It'll be like, we was there for 4 hours. I got 30 minutes we can use.
Right there's the difference in our names. That's how I spell it, and that's how it used to be spelled.
Well, I mean, I ain't even saying your damn name wrong. I'm sorry. Because when I see it, I just go Waldroup. It's Waldroup.
Purple house, white shutters.
Sounds like Brian Wright. Oh. Yeah, I gotta cut that out too, Brian. Kill me. Yeah. Where me at? Okay. Okay. Which produces a better product, a copper steel or a stainless steel?
Copper.
That's right.
Why?
Well, copper, it's some kind of big scientific something or other that it does, but basically it takes something out of, it lets, your copper can breathe, I guess you'd say. It's a softer metal, and it lets the vapor, it does something to it, and it takes some kind of something or other out that gives it a weird taste. So I've actually run on a glass steel, that's pure glass, and running the same recipe through the glass steel and through the copper steel, you get two totally different tastes. Put a piece of copper, just cut a piece of copper steel, or piece of copper sheet metal, or just cut a piece of copper, like you put on a steel, slide it down into the part of the steel that the alcohol's in a vapor form, smooths that liquor up and makes it taste better.
All right, well, here's a question for you, and I mean, I've got all kinds of answers to why this might happen, so I'm going to ask you. My sister had a friend who went blind after he drank moonshine. What could have caused that? Was it the type of steel, the ingredients, or did somebody put something in there shouldn't have been, or?
Well, you can go blind from a lot of different reasons from moonshine. That's part of the bad stigma with moonshine. You can run. A lot of people, instead of building a condenser, they think, oh, I can just go get a car radiator. Car radiators have lead in them. Lead comes into contact with alcohol, and it poisons you. But where your friend went blind was they kept the heads, which is, I'm blanking on. What's gasoline? Ethanol.
Yeah. Cut, take 23!
Yeah, it is ethanol, and that's basically what gasoline is. So that's the part that makes you go blind. That worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that worked. Yeah, we got there.
That sentence is not going to come out of my mouth.
Well, how much of the head do you need to get rid of when it first starts coming back into the liquid form when it starts coming out?
Well, it depends on your steel size. You know, with a 25-gallon steel, I usually get rid of 2 quarts. You know, that first 2 quarts or half a gallon that runs, I get rid of it. You know, throw it away. Don't pour it back in your beer. You know, a lot of moonshiners will pour it back in their beer. Don't do that. If you want to, keep it. And when you got 500 or so gallons, put it in a motorcycle or a dirt bike, and you got you run it through a steel and get it more pure, but you basically got gasoline. So, you know, it's just, it'll make you go blind. A lot of times when you're, the old-timer moonshiners couldn't talk, it's because of it. You know, it can make you have a jaundice or your rickets, or your legs and your arms, you know, you can't have full control over them. So yeah, it's a really dangerous thing.
You're next.
So I heard you say everything is organic that you put in yours. And again, you said that you all do grow all your own ingredients, your corn and all that.
Well, we don't. We grow most of what we put into our product, but you know, a lot of times we can't grow that much. So we'll actually find other farmers here in the county that have extra corn that they're willing to trade for moonshine. So you know, they're basically taking their corn in its raw form and trading it for our finished product corn that, you know, they can put on the shelf and keep from 200 years from now. They can pull that off of the shelf and drink it, whereas the corn will run eventually.
Well, that was the question I was going to ask. It's in here somewhere, but since you touched on it, what is the shelf life of moonshine? I mean, if you made moonshine today, a quart, gallon, whatever, you put it on the shelf, when will it expire?
Yeah, I actually have no idea when it expires. I know it can turn to vinegar at some point, but I honestly have never thought about how long, because I guess nobody ever has, and it never lasts that long.
Well, you never know. Zombie apocalypse or something. I need to store up some. But, you know, seriously, I've never heard no one, you know, because, like you said, I'm sure it don't last that long, but I'm sure somebody is somewhere around in the South has got a quart, pint, gallon stashed somewhere that's got to be a couple 100 years old. It's got to be.
And do you don't have to refrigerate it at all, do you?
Nope. It's well, actually putting the wood chips in it, you know, for making the scotch. As long as those wood chips are in there, it's continuously aging. It's just, it thinks it's in the barrel. You know, you speed up the process. You put it on a hot heat source, you know, over 100 degrees. You put it in a freezer, deep freezer, you know, below absolute freezing. So you just keep swapping them back and forth, and each time that liquor does that, that wood expands and contracts. You know, it pushes liquor in, it pulls liquor in to the wood, it pushes it back out. Every time it does that, it makes it smoother and, you know, gives it more of that charred oak, you know, good Scotch flavor. I'm sure there's a point where it tastes too much like a piece of burnt wood. You know,
you went too far.
Yeah, I've never got there, you know. Maybe there's some, you know, Scots person from Scotland that can tell me the truth about, you know, what the cutoff date for aging alcohol is, but I've never found it. I've made them off some that's 250 years old.
Hey, this should taste like burnt wood. You went too far. Damn it, Jim. What the fuck?
So out of all the flavors that you make, do you have any best sellers that people ask for a lot?
Oh, absolutely. The Scotch is by far the best seller. Well, no. Our moonshine, we sell by far more moonshine, but the most asked for is the Scotch. People want the Scotch because it's something that is different. You know, it's something that you know exactly how much pride and how much time and effort and love went into it. Whereas with the other stuff, you know, you can throw it together in one afternoon. You know, as long as you got beer worked off, put it in a still, run your still. The longer part of making moonshine is the waiting on the 7 to 14 to 24 days for your beer to work off.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as long as you've got worked off beer, you can make the moonshine quick. Scotch, you got to have your beer ready. You got to run it. Once you get it run, then you got to take and set it, put it in the wood chips, and start aging it. Once you get it aged, you got to put it in the jar, and then you got to find some customer that's willing to buy it.
Now, do you have trouble, especially with the process of some of the shine and scotches and the stuff that you're making? Have you ever made any that you've had a hard time trying to move, or sell, or does everything you sell, that you make goes off the shelf pretty quick?
Well, I've got a very good fan base, or I've got a very good customer base, so a lot of times, if we make something, there's enough people that's willing to try at least one quart of it that we'll get rid of it. The only thing I've really had trouble with is this absinthe, and I pretty much didn't feel confident enough asking my customers to buy it with the price I had to set on it, and the fact that it was not that good of a drink when it come down to it. It didn't have the taste, the quality wasn't there for my standards. So I wasn't going to sell somebody something that I wouldn't buy.
Right.
I wasn't going to drink it, so I wasn't going to ask them to.
Well, how do you base your pricing on the difference? Is it the difference in the flavor that you base your price, or your competition? Because I'm sure there's probably other people in this area that are very competitive with everyone else. Is it like a let's see, moonshine war? I mean, with everybody with competition and the different flavors?
Not really. We pretty much have control over our competition. We keep our territory to ourselves, and pretty much it's just time and labor and cost of materials that really sets our price. There's no real competition. They can be, but we're already got the customers. So as long as we don't mess up and make no mistakes, we keep the customers. Yes, people move in and cut our throats with making low quality, bottled liquor, but when the customers try it, they realize quality ain't there, they come right back to where they've always been.
Oh, he's already mentioned that. So we'll take that one out. Wait, check it out, let's see. Okay, he's already mentioned the head. Everybody talked about that. Okay. That one's for you.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go for you.
So what us women want to know, is there any other uses for shine than drinking it?
Absolutely. Cough syrup, sweat a cold out of you, sweat fevers out of you. You can actually take and put alcohol in a pot and get it to steaming, breathe that vapor in, unclog your sinuses. If you got a sore throat, it'll cure you for a sore throat. And just a relaxing. If you've got a stressful day, drink your quart of moonshine, and I guarantee you won't be stressed.
So it has a lot of medicinal purposes other than just, hey, let's go have a good time.
Oh yeah, there's still customers of ours that use it as medicine.
Mm-hmm.
That puts it up on the shelf and only use it when they have a cold or flu, something ailing them, and even sore knees, sore joints. for years, alcohol was poor man's painkiller. You know, if you had aches and pains, you know, take a drink of alcohol, and it didn't hurt as bad. So it has thousands of, even you can clean your windows with moonshine, you know.
That's what we was wanting to know.
Can I clean my toilet with it? Can I clean my windows with it?
That's what we was wanting to know. So, what is the purpose of placing shine in mason jars and gallon jugs?
Tradition. It's just,
So what it boils down to?
yeah. Mason jar is something that you can drop, you can kick, you can throw, and it's very hard to break a mason jar. They've got a good sturdy metal lid, so you're transporting literally your paycheck in a liquid form. So if you put it in something that's going to break or bust or crack and leak, you know, you're going to lose your paycheck real quick. And if you're hauling it across roads like we drive on, you know that you've got to have a sturdy container. So mason jars, that's the only way to go if you're making moonshine. A lot of people put it in plastic jugs, throws it in the bed of a truck. If I was to do that, I'd make it to my delivery. I wouldn't have but one jar or one Ingles or one gallon jug left, and you know, I'd be so mad I'd have to drink it myself to get over the losing the rest.
But like damn it, it's all in the back of the damn truck, you know. Let me see where we at. Here. Okay, speaking of the mason jars, I've heard that back in the day that, I don't know if y'all still do it, but the mason jars that had the number 13 on them, they were destroyed or buried. You know, have you heard of this, or is this still a common practice today, and if so, why?
Yeah, I've heard that, and I've practiced that. Old-timers swear. You know, that's going back to one of the tips and tricks that the old-timers... I'm sorry, I forgot what I said. We've practiced that. The number 13 on the mason jars is bad luck. The old-timers swear up and down. It's one of the tips and tricks we was talking about earlier. They swear up and down that jar will make alcohol go bad, and it is bad luck to put moonshine or any kind of distilled spirit in a number 13 mason jar. You know, I don't know exactly. I've never really sit down and really listened to the tales that people tell about it, but I know it is something that a lot of moonshiners are very superstitious about. You don't put that in a number 13 jar.
I wonder if that would also apply to, like, canning food. You know, like beans or corn and stuff like that.
You know, I've never heard... We can a lot of food, and we've never heard it with the canned food. But now I've heard it all my life since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. You don't put alcohol in a number 13 jar. If you've got a number 13 jar, throw it in the trash, bust it, take it outside and bury it with your money in it. Whatever you have to do to get rid of it.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, hey, there's a lot of old legends and stuff that these old boys and girls, because there's a lot of women moonshiners that people don't really talk about. And there's some high, you know, you look in history, there's some high name bitches that they were, oh Lord, they tear your ass up. They were badasses.
Well, with your mason jars and stuff, do you go purchase them, or do you have other people so you don't draw attention to yourself?
Well, you know, around here, because everybody cans, everybody uses mason jars for everything. You know, even just having a glass at the house. I don't know, probably half of my silverware at the house is mason jars and metal camping plates. So, you know, it's not really looked at as the sugar's the big thing. You go in store and buy 500 pounds of sugar. You really like sweet tea, don't you?
I like it in my coffee, damn it.
I drink a lot of coffee, but yeah, we've had a lot of times where people's ask questions, but pretty much they live and let live. They ain't worried about it. You bought something from them, So they're not going to turn you into the police because they know the second they do that, you're not coming back to their store.
And they ain't getting no 500 pounds of sugar sold.
We bought it tons at a time, walked the pallets out, and went to throwing sugar bags on the back of the truck, and nobody say a word. And they knew what it's for.
Yeah.
But when you got no other choice, you got to do something.
Yeah. Who's next?
You.
Where are we at?
Which I think
Okay, we've already said that. That's on flavors. We've already done that. Let me see.
We kind of suck at this.
Huh?
We kind of suck at this sometimes.
Well,
I'm having fun.
Well, I don't think we're sucking. I just think what it is
There's how much we say,
Well, everybody says,
You gotta put him in front of the camera, and he's like,
I do. And
that's what she's for.
I can sit here and bullshit with anybody and have a good old time talking to anybody, but you stick a camera in front of me, and I'm all of a sudden like, because it's like, especially if they got a screen where I can actually see myself, and then I'm like, God, I am an ugly fucker. What are they? And they want to film me? What am I here? I want to run. Damn, let me see. Look at that, you got me all screwed up.
Okay, so here's a biggie. Why is moonshine against the law?
Because the government can't tax it. But the fact is you pay tax on your corn, you pay tax on your sugar, you pay tax on the copper that you build your steel out of, the propane. If you use propane, if you use wood, more than likely you're not going to cut all the wood that you burn making liquor on your own property. So you're going to buy the wood, you're going to buy the mason jars, you're buying all that stuff, you're paying taxes on all that stuff. Why then do you have to go in and pay taxes on what you put those ingredients in together and make something? If I went out here and bought paper to make crafts or something, the government ain't gonna come in and ask me to pay a tax on my art project. So why my art projects happen to be making moonshine? So why should they have the right to ask me to pay taxes on it? And honestly, if they make it simple, if I could just pay the taxes on the amount of alcohol that I make, and they could come in and say, all right, Mr. Waldroup, you've got to do this way, and this way, and that way, and that way, I'd pay my taxes. But, I don't owe any taxes, so
I agree with you on that. When it comes down to they tax you on everything, but the thing is, when you use the comparison of the art project or the art to make it shine, I think is that an art project sells for, I don't know, anywhere from, let's say, $10 to $50. Shine can sell for a lot more money. That's where Uncle Sugar's like,
Then what is the difference between legal and illegal shine? Because at Palm, they actually sell shine at some stores.
I think you need to ask him that, not me.
Right. Well,
We're interviewing him, not me.
Well, it's just basically what state you're in and how the law's read. Those people that's selling that at a craft store or wherever they're selling it, they're letting the government come in and control their recipe, the amount of alcohol they make, the amount of water that they put in it, the time that they have to run each batch. They let the government have full control over them.
So it's pretty much losing its qualities.
You're basically taking something and turning it into a government-approved job at that point. And I don't care, ain't no way in the world anybody's ever going to control me. I may end up in prison one day, or they may end up trying to put me in prison one day, but I guarantee this, nobody's going to control me. Nobody's going to tell me I can do this or do that. That used to irritate out of me when Mom and Dad tell me, you can't do this, that'd be the first thing I'd do when I got a chance to do it. So, as long as they don't tell me how to do what I want to do, I'm fine. I'll pay my taxes, or if I owed any, however they wanted me to do it. But, I think it's just going to be the way I want to do things.
He was one of these kids when their mom and dad said, don't do it. He'd be like, no, do. I did it, damn it.
Like Jacob.
Yeah.
I have a son like that. It don't matter how much trouble he gets into, if it's the least bit fun, he's going to go do it again.
Well, I know a lot of old timers. They relied on dogs to alert them, of any intruders being around while they're running their shine. Do you all rely on dogs or any other type of surveillance equipment? Like old school alarms, or with tripwires or bells or anything like that?
Yeah, we use all the old tricks and tricks except for using the dogs, because when the cops come in, the first thing they're gonna do, I'm a dog lover. I ain't ever met a dog that I didn't love. They're always your best friend. So the fact that the law, every time they come in, the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna shoot your dog. And I know from experience, losing a dog is painful. And if the sheriff's department was to come in and shoot my dog, it's liable to end up with a few other things getting shot. So
they can shoot your dog
if you're running
if
at a moonshine still. There's a dog there barking at a cop. He's within his right to shoot it.
That's what I was just reading something on that last night, that they're actually trying to pass a law everywhere that it doesn't matter what they're doing. If any dog starts barking at them, they have a right to shoot it, even if it's not acting aggressive.
Unless you've got it on a leash and that dog's got a collar on it, if it barks at an officer, he's got the right to shoot it.
Even
if it's a little chihuahua on your arm.
Even if it's on a leash and collar.
No, if it's on a leash and a collar, he can't shoot it.
Oh, okay.
You let go of that leash, or that leash breaks, he's fucked up.
I know, right?
Damn.
I used to have pits when I was younger, and I had one named Sadie. She was the best dog in the world. I actually could hold her dog lead and tell her to hit, one of them brass dog leads, and she could straighten that brass dog lead out and talk about people scared out of people. I'd tell them go over and stand, hit Sadie, and she'd snap at just like that. Sorry, I got off topic.
That's all right. I can talk about animals all day.
You don't want to get me started on that.
So, what's the funniest story you could tell us about either you or your family making a shine, or someone you know, or a story that you've heard about?
Well, there's been many times, that we've been at the steel site, and people that just happen to swing by, get to sipping on our product, and plumb gets where they couldn't even move, just lay there on the floor and giggle, lay there on the ground and giggle. And, there's been many times when we've left people laying at the steel site to sleep it off, and it take the next morning and you go in and wake them up and tell them that they slept there all night. But that's probably one of the funniest things you'll ever see at a steel site. Somebody that's drunk so much that they can't even get up and move, and you just got to lay there and giggle.
Okay. Now you know where we also deal with Black Diamond, my group, Black Diamond Paranormal Society. We do the ghost hunting type stuff and all that. And this is a question I always like to ask all the guests, and it really throws a lot of them off. But have you had any experiences with the paranormal, especially y'all being out in the woods? Because I'm sure y'all been out in the woods a lot and you've seen it. And I'm talking about not when you drink, after you drunk. I ain't talking about what you've seen then and heard. I'm talking about while you're still sober. Have you seen anything, heard anything paranormal, or like even any UFOs or any kind of strange crypto, like Bigfoot type things? Because I know you out in the woods, I know you probably got on TAM. I've never heard of this question, but what the hell have I got myself into?
That's the one question I actually did read.
Oh, okay. I read that one. I'm ready for that one.
Well, I can give you multiple answers for this question. All my life I've heard of the rumors of the legends of the little people. Mm-hmm. It's a Cherokee Indian legend that if you was a bad person or a wicked person, that you would be visited by the little people. It's supposed to be tiny little, basically mischief creatures that come into your house that hide your keys. Anything from making a gun go off and shoot you. It could be anything depending on how bad of a person you was, and that's something that we've always said. If you can be at a still site and you swear you set something somewhere, and turn around 5 seconds later it be somewhere else. You just always joke, that's the little people doing that. And that's just something that's always went around the mountains up here, is that you always have those. I don't really know how to explain it. I guess like a mix between a leprechaun and a fairy. It's just some kind of magical little creature that comes in and causes mayhem and mischief, and it all depends on what kind of person you are. So, basically, the moral of the story is be as good a person as you can every day you can.
I like it.
So is that like a big legend around here in this area? Wow.
We're going to look that up.
Many of the Native Americans swear by it. I swear by it.
Have you heard of it?
Well, I know Native, especially Cherokee, they also talk about giants. Have you ever heard any of the legends about that around here?
Oh, yeah, I've heard them, but that's something I've always wanted to. I just wish that there was some kind of evidence or proof that they could release that just blow the whole lid off of UFOs and giants and just everything.
Yeah.
But I want the world to be, werewolves and just everything.
Yeah.
I always wanted the supernatural hellhound. I always wanted them as a pet. That would be the ultimate badass dog. When I was like 16 or 17, I wanted hyenas to ride around the truck with. But this is how I am. I go for the odd and the unusual and the what somebody else ain't got. So
I guess that's why we get along with him pretty good.
Yeah, he's like, well, they're weird like me.
Yeah.
But we just done a show. These two ladies, they're Bigfoot researchers up in New York, and she talked about the Dogmen. I don't know if you heard about them, but they supposedly are kind of werewolf-looking men type. And she said that that's probably where the legend of werewolves came in to play, because of they apparently protect Bigfoot. Especially if there's like a female and a small one. They said that there's a lot of sightings where there's these dog men near, and they have actually chased people, is what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't think I want a 6 foot, 7 foot damn wolf man chasing me. One, I ain't gonna run. I'm too big.
I'd welcome it because I'd stop and pet him.
He'd be like, "You such a big old boy."
So I know your immediate family is obviously supportive of what you do. Do y'all have any family members that give y'all grief?
Yeah, we have family members that don't agree with what we do, but most of them is very, very religiously devoted.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I think religion and alcohol and having a good time's all tied together. If we wasn't meant to enjoy life, why do we have pleasure centers all over our bodies?
Exactly. Thank you.
Why is there so many things out there that makes us feel incredibly good?
I know.
We're meant to enjoy life. You're not supposed to go through life, pinching pennies and making every dime count and, being miserable. You're supposed to enjoy it, and you're supposed to, way I think of it, you're supposed to ride it like a, wave or, like you're jumping off a cliff. Enjoy the time you got, and when you hit the bottom, have no regrets.
That's it. And think about it. Once you hit it, it's done. It's over. It's done. But enjoy the fall.
Yep.
Enjoy the fall.
So what do you do when you're not so busy making shine? What do you do for fun?
Well, I do a lot of things,
Well, I drink it when I ain't making it.
But I don't drink.
See, you don't drink.
Well, yeah, we, mostly just hang out with friends, I enjoy helping other people have a good time, because I have troubles with the amount of alcohol I can drink at one time, and the person I become when I'm drinking alcohol. That don't mean I don't like to enjoy watching other people have a good time on my product. So, that's one of the things I really like is getting that feedback of how my friends and customers like my product, like something that I've poured my heart and soul into making for them, and watching them just cut loose and have a good time. And, I have a good time right there with them. I'm not enjoying the alcohol with them, but, I'm right there with them in the fun. It just might not be as fun for me.
Well, since everybody, again, small town, small place, and everyone, everyone knows you and knows pretty much what you do. Is that hard for you to have a private life? Do you have a lot of people approaching you all the time, or?
Not really, a lot of people, they don't really like to come up and talk to you in public. Well, everybody knows what we do, knows who we are. So those people, they want to contact you in private. They want to show up at your house at midnight and not let nobody see them, ask for no moonshine, or not asking no questions or none of that. So a lot of times it's when you see somebody in town, they kind of give you that high snob look, but we've learned to just let it go and not worry about it, because 9 times out of 10 the person that gives you that go to hell look will be at your door knocking on it, asking for a quart of moonshine, or asking you for a drink, or asking you to come to their get together. It's just one of those things that public life is totally different than private life.
Right.
Well, where do you see the future of moonshine and the making of it? The future of, as far as, do you think more people are going to be interested in to learn in the trade and also to keep the heritage and the history alive, or do you think it may be one of those things that within the next 20, 50 years it'll end up fading off?
Well, I really hope and pray that, I really hope that moonshine finds a following and finds a way to get the new generations and different people interested in it, and it doesn't have to be moonshine, and it doesn't have to be corn liquor. Any distilled alcohol will keep this tradition and this lifestyle alive. If you want to make wine and make brandy, as long as you're distilling it, and it's easy to do. You get a glass still, you take a 5-gallon bucket, you mix you up some grapes and apples, whatever you want to do. You let it ferment. You put sugar in it. You put that liquid into your still. You put some heat on it, and your finished product is alcohol. It's distilled illegal alcohol, and that's as simple as you can go. And the glass stills is unbelievably reasonable priced, and we've had them before. Some that say vibrating sound like they're going to fly all to pieces, so you can't bust them. So, you know, you might be able to with a gun, you know, shoot them, but, you know, as far as putting heat to them and pressure on them, you can't get them to shatter.
Well, are you and, you know, all these other old-timers and the ones that in your generation and your family and so forth, if people are, you know, somebody that's really sincere that really wants to, you know, learn the trade and learn the art, and I mean, are y'all willing to, you know, teach someone or give them information on how, or I mean, what would you do if somebody just comes up and says, hey, I really want to learn how to do this. You know, my family's done it, but none of them are alive, and I don't know how. I mean, what would you say to somebody that's willing to say, hey, I'll do whatever you want me to do. I'll back labor, heart, whatever, dig a ditch, shoot a somebody, whatever.
Well, you know, as long as they were sincere, that I would welcome it. You know, I'd teach them every trick and secret that I know. You know, we've done that in the past where we've showed people how to make liquor, and, you know, them use it against us, and then we've showed people that how to make liquor that has, you know, brought on their whole new thing, and, you know, stepped completely away from ours and have their own deal, you know, their own customers. And, you know, then you also have to worry about, well, is this person actually wanting to learn how to make liquor, or is this person the law? You know,
right.
This person just waiting for me to spill some secrets so they can throw a set of handcuffs on me and throw me in jail for, you know, a lot longer than they could have if they'd busted me making moonshine. Because making moonshine, there's a lot of secrets in the closet, you know, a lot of skeletons, and you have to really keep everything close to the chest, and, you know, make sure you trust no one. You know, that somebody told me that many years ago. Most important rule with this lifestyle was you trust no one. You know, and I hate to say it, but that's the best way to do this. You have to trust as few people as you possibly can. You know, you have to trust some people, but if you go trusting everybody, you're not gonna make it long moonshine.
Gonna get screwed over. Yeah. Well, let's see. Oh, okay. What you got planned for this year, 2017? You got any? I mean, do you do like any type of these conventions or anything?
Yeah, we're planning on doing lots of meet and greets and shows. You know, we'll post all the meet and greet schedules on our Facebooks, and you know, I like to get a lot of people out and come out and meet the moonshiners. You know, as you know, we have a pretty good time at our meet and greets.
I know. I would have had a lot better time, but I have to say my significant other and children were there, so they held me back. I'm really disappointed in that.
And he's getting the death glare right now that you people can't see.
Yeah. She's giving me the I'm going to beat your ass look.
Yes, I had a ball. You guys are great down here. Y'all
You
are.
Nice. You are. You know, from what I've known of you all and what I've read, seen, and have been talked to, people have talked. You know, when you all, you know, like I said, we've been talking for a little bit off and on for about a year, and
I guess over a year now.
For over a year, it's been a really slow build-up relationship.
I get to keep that.
Well, Lord have mercy.
See, everybody got. I gonna keep it.
But look at that, you just throw me all off what I was getting at. But you know, I've really enjoyed being down here. I thank you so much for actually inviting us down. if I get a chance to come back, I'm not bringing them here because the reason why they don't want to see what's going to happen. I really want to let load a little more. They hold the reins back on me, and I'm not bringing her either because this always distracts everything.
I don't have enough to distract nobody.
So it'll just probably be me and the boy back in the back. It'd be a man's weekend.
This goes with that.
Oh no, that can stay the hell home.
You're more than welcome to come back anytime.
Well, I do appreciate
We've had a lot of fun. I'm glad you got to come out and,
And we have to say, if anybody does have a chance to come down here, you must visit the Hub. They are great down there. The food's great. The atmosphere is great. So definitely get a chance if you ever make it down this way. Even if you're just passing through, stop in and see them, folks. They are great.
And don't forget the Hotel.
Microtel. The biggest business on this little strip.
Basically, our skyscraper here.
Yeah.
You will know
it's got 4 floors.
It's a 40-story building.
And they were really, really nice there too. They were interested in what we were doing. Talk to us every time we come in. So a big shout out to those folks as well.
But Lance, like I said, I do appreciate you coming on the show and you sitting down and talking to us and talking to me. I mean, when you called me up out of the blue, I tell Robin, I'm like, he called me just out of the bleu. Like, what were you doing?
We'll tell a story on him. But he was a little nervous yesterday.
I'll be honest with you.
He almost got starstruck because he was like, I'm all nervous over here. Rodney, don't get nervous.
No.
And then I got to give him hell because I got that layover a guest one time.
Because you got what?
I got that layover one of our guests.
Well, it was just the fact that, it's where we talk so much, message back and forth. Like I told you, y'all sound and act a lot like, like my family. Yeah. So it's just like, damn. But the situation is a little different because I'm like, he does this and my family don't do that. So it's just like, yeah, I got that little, little butterfly. And you start like, oh God, I hope he don't look at me and go, damn, I don't want nothing to do with that guy. Oh my God.
Well, I'm having a lot of people ask if we're going to do one last live with Lance. Do you care if we do like just a couple minutes?
That's fine.
Tell everybody that we're done, we're leaving, we're coming home.
Let me see. Well, let me see. If anybody has any questions or anything, how would it be best if anybody want to talk to you or get a hold of you?
Facebook. Yep. Our it's NC Moonshiners. NC Moonshiners, and then at Moonshiner Lance Waldroup.
Okay. I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you inviting us down, dude. I have had a great time, and I cannot wait to get back down here, spend some more time with y'all. Okay, do your thing, Robin. We're done.
Hey guys, we just finished up our interview with Lance.
Hello, everybody.
I want to thank you, Lance, so much for coming on the show and sharing your knowledge and experiences with us. Again, thank you. We have nothing but respect for you and the job you're doing, bud. Well, we welcome you back anytime, my friend. Well, that's it for us tonight. I want to thank Moonshiner Lance Waldroup for coming on the show and to thank everyone that took the time to listen in. I'd like to give a big shout out to the Vibe Radio Network and to Holly and Ryan for putting up with us. Also to the first responders and the men and women in the armed services. Thank you for your service. Our guest for next Thursday night, May 18th, will be author, publisher, and owner of the famous Nickerson Sneed home located in Glade Springs, Virginia, Rhonda Claudille. So turn in next week as we discuss BDPS's investigation of the Nickerson Sneed home and the evidence and the personal experiences during our investigation. And also, Rhonda tells of her personal experiences of this amazing house. Starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, everyone can go to our Facebook page, Within the Chaos, and don't forget to like our page. Also, you can see upcoming guests along with past shows posting. You can also go to my website at www.blackdiamondps.org or blogtalkradio.com/Within the Chaos. Thanks again. Until next week, everyone be safe and have a good night.
So he had a crib, which is a little building where you kept your taters and stuff, dry. He had it full of corn. And he thought, well, if they're making orange juice down in Florida, I can just make some corn juice up here in Kentucky. And he did just that. And he thought, well, that'll help the mountain people forget about their problems. He had a 12-year-old son whose name was Rufus. That was his leading distributor. And this song's called Run, Rufus, Run.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Well, the mountains were a prison for their family of 9. Nowhere to go, no place to work, lest you crawl down in the mine. And his mama knew the sounds of a man's lungs turning black. So when Daddy found another way to make a living, it was easy to turn her back. Now Rufus was the oldest, and he knew Bell County well. He could hunt and fish like any grown man and take care of himself. So his daddy put him to run and shine when he was just 12 years old. Said it might not be the right thing, but it sure beats mining cold. And he'd say, run, Rufus, run, run across the mountain, darling. Daddy wants you to take a load of shine to a man up near Harlan. And he'd leave for his life every time his daddy would put him on the run again. Boys, no match for the shotgun blast from the gun of a revenue man. Well, one fall night when the moon was rising up to the lightest way, we just loaded up that old sedan, started back for the break of day. And as he turned on the highway 119, he heard 3 shotgun blasts, and his blood ran cold, and he wondered, could this run be his last? And his mama never closed her eyes that night when he left home. She tossed and turned and walked the floor, praying nothing would go wrong. 'Cause her thoughts were on a stranger she'd heard about from town. He had a funny talk and a brand new car and been asking around. Oh, run, Rufus, run, run across the mountain, darling. Daddy wants you to take a load of shine to a man up near Harlan. He paid for his life every time his daddy would put him on a run again. The boys no match for the shotgun blast from the gun of a revenue man. Oh, but Rufus knew those mountain roads are like the back of his hand. He could take those curves on 2 wheels and the beat up folks to dance. So he run 'em up a holler and lost 'em somewhere around a Williams branch. There was one back road they didn't know where revenue and never stood a chance. And it was run, Rufus, run, run across the mountain, darling. Daddy wants you to take a load of shine to a man up near Harlan. And he paid for his life every time his daddy would put him on the run again. He said, boys, no match for the shotgun blast from the gun of a revenue man. He said, boys, no match for the shotgun blast from the gun of a revenue man.
Well, it's true that the lawmen don't like me. They have drove me away from my still. And of course I had to leave there running through the wildwood and over the hill. So let's meet me tonight, oh pal, meet me out in the moon. the officers don't like me. They have drove me away from my door. If I had my time to go over, I would still 10,000 gallons or more. So let's meet me tonight, old pal, meet me. Meet me out in the moonlight alone. For I have 10 gallons of good whiskey, must be sold by the light of the moon. If I knew when the officers were coming, I would be standing in my cabin door with my pockets full of steel jackets and a cold ivory handle 44. So let's meet me tonight, old pal, meet me. Meet me out in the moonlight alone. For I have 10 gallons of good whiskey, must be sold by the light of the moon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That really fills my heart with joy. But I did want to say one thing. Thank you. And guys like this is what keeps me going, my boys who work with me, and you people who keep preaching music, and I just don't know what to say except I'm picking with some guys that plays a tremendous amount of banjo. Don't underestimate anybody up here. Man, they're great. Let's pick a tune and get out of this. Thank you very much.
On the day I left Virginia, headed south for Tennessee, I left 4 eyes a crying and 2 hungry mouths to feed. Hush now, woman, don't you worry. Go inside and close the door. Hey now, girl, you gotta trust me. Won't sell no whiskey anymore. I lied. Here's one thing you don't understand. I'm a bootlegger, son, I'm a whiskey man, but you love me. I gotta get it down to Knoxville town where they're drinking it up and they're throwing it down. Do they love me? Oh, they love me. On the day I left Virginia, I didn't know just where this road would lead. Did not know it'd be the last time I'd ever see my family. Driving through the dark with blue on, boys, I'm here all night. Come and get me. Try and get me. But here's one thing you don't understand. I'm a bootlegger, son, I'm a whiskey man, but you love me. I gotta get it down to Knoxville town where they're drinking it up and they're throwing it down and they love me. Oh, they love me. Well, I stand tall and I stand proud. I load my gun with 12 more rounds and they got me. Here's one thing you don't understand. There's blood in my veins and Bondurant. You can't kill me. No, you can't kill me.
Tried to help him so that he could stay, but the judge wouldn't listen and
I just wish I could live my life over. Damn if I wouldn't do it bigger and better.
You